Hi everyone, it's Stephen Van Kampen-Lewis. It's January 18th. I have the day off of work because it is Martin Luther King Day here in the United States, and we are celebrating him by having the day off for a lot of folks across the country. But anyway, I want to start this week off with a bunch of blooms actually. So I'm going to highlight the Cattleya, nobilior, coerulea that's right over my shoulder there, and talk briefly about that, and well, let's get started. So there she is in all her glory. This is the nobilior that I've mentioned a couple times in videos in the past, I don't know, month or so, and boy, I am super happy to have this. This is just an absolute stunner. You know, in terms of nobilior, the shape isn't great, and I'll point that out. There's these big windows here, but you know, maybe the lip isn't necessarily as flat as many of the nobiliors, but when you're thinking about shape and maybe awardability of a particular flower, a lot of the coeruleas in the Cattleya group are not nearly as well developed in their line breeding as some of their cousins of more common colors, and coerulea nobilior is certainly in that category. So this, while the shape isn't great, you know, I really like the color. I mean, that is a really nice coerulea. You can see the nose there on the column, or the column is what in my head I call the nose, but it's this guy here. This is the column where the reproductive organs are of the flower, and it is just this really nice vibrant green. And of course the lip here has this sort of classic nobilior coloration, these nice striations that come down here, and boy, it is fragrant. It is a little bit different fragrance than the tipo, the pink one that I have, that I showed you all about a week or so ago. This one's a little bit sweeter actually, but the flowers are monstrous, and there's 4 of them. Let me see if I can swing around here. Yeah, kind of a view. You can see that one's a little crowded there, over there. And you can hear that my fan is just turning on, which means this is over 85 degrees. So this fan turns on automatically. So let me get this to cool down here in the greenhouse a little bit. We'll chat a little bit more. All right, so that fan is cooled down the greenhouse a little bit. I opened the door, but I really want to point out the fact that these flowers are monstrous. This is 6 inches across, and let me post a photo here showing you with the tape there. It is, you know, it is nowhere close to anything that I've ever grown. So here's my hand in the background. You know, this is a hand-sized flower. This is huge, huge, huge. So so when thinking about, you know, getting your nobiliors or your flowers awarded, there's a bunch of things that you want to think about. You know, there's color, of course, shape, and I pointed out the shape is not great, but you know, size is not doesn't necessarily get a whole lot of points on the judging scoring system, but it is an important thing to consider. You know, after this I'm going to go back and go back to the AOS score scoring program, Orchids Pro. I had a little brain fart there and couldn't think of it, but you know, I'm gonna see what a 6-inch Cattleya nobilior stacks up against. Basically, I'll go through and I'll average all the other ones, and the program lets you do that fairly easily, and see how other awarded nobiliors stack up in terms of size. Again, this is a coerulea, very rare in the United States. We don't see these very often. I got this from Francisco Miranda some years ago. I'll show you the tag that I've created. It's one of his. It's called "It's Number 1 by Number 2." So you know, his his naming conventions are wonderfully simple, and I like that a lot. And like I said, Francisco Miranda. He's over there in Florida. Here's the rest of the plant. I started to grow this one into an additional pot, and I'll cut it right here and sell to a friend this spring. There's the rest of the plant that I'll keep. And there's a seed pod that I pollinated about a year ago. So nobilior takes an exceptionally long time for their seed pods to mature. And this one appears to be no different. But what is notable is the fact that this one has carried a seed pod for a year and has decided to grace us with blooms, which does not always happen with nobiliors. A lot of the time they will skip blooming when they're holding a seed pod. Much less give a 6-inch flower on an inflorescence with 4 of those flowers. I'm really excited by this one. Anyway, hope you all are having a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.